Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, Sim Football Critic, and let's get right into it, guys. I'm ready to jump into it, man. Talk about a couple things, and I know you guys are probably looking at the title and you're wondering, what is Sim talking about? He's saying, why the Steelers will pick somebody in the secondary and the first round, and I really think that's going to happen, guys. And let me explain to you why. Let me give you some explanations as to why. All right, guys. Now, basically, I want to give you a little bit of backstory, as far as myself and, information. Now, I am an avid Steelers fan. I'm a diehard Steelers fan, guys. I bleed Steelers. I'm a true Steelers fan, the type of guy who looks at transactions, reads the news, watches SteelersDepot.com. I look at 24/7 Sports for the Steelers, the Steel Crew. I listen to David Todd. I listen to David Bryan, these guys when they do the Terrible podcast. I listen to guys like Ed Bouchette, if I'm saying his name correctly. I listen to guys like Alex Kozor, in 93.7 The Fan. I listen to all of this stuff, guys, because I want to be informed. And not only do I want to be informed, but I just want to be that consumed with the Steelers so I understand what's going on, how I have a better understanding of the organization. And that's how I can speak freely about the Steelers, because I invest the time in learning this information. I listen to SteelersLive.com, on the website, and a lot of different Steelers talk, right? So I'll say all that to say this. I give my opinion, but I also give my opinion based off of information that I hear and based off of the fact when I listen to these other sites, well-known sites that cover the Steelers, it's always comforting to hear them say things that you're thinking. And that lets you know that you're kind of on the right track. It lets you know that you got a grasp of how you think your team and things of that nature. So basically, guys, I wanted to say this, because I want to give a shout out to guys like Alex Kozor, as well as in general, the, Steelers Depot and, the Terrible podcast. If you haven't listened to that, if you're not up on that, definitely check out the Terrible podcast with David Todd and Dave Bryan. Like they say in their intro, a couple of days talking Steelers. Definitely do it, because, again, these guys are close to the team. They could give a great perspective from not only being close to the team, but, it's always good to just hear other people's perspective. And like I said, when they tend to say things that you're thinking or you agree with what they're saying and vice versa, they actually agree with what you said. Because, I have had Dave Todd sometimes retweet me or, respond to a question. And I'm like, it feels good to know that you're on the right track. So I say all that to say this. Here's the reason why I think the Steelers are going to go secondary in the first round, particularly corner, but don't sleep on safety. You've heard me say over and over and over that it needs to be pass rush. We all say that. Pass rusher, pass rusher, pass rusher. We all say that. I have to agree with David Todd when he says he thinks the first 3 picks are going to be edge rusher, cornerback, running back. And the cornerback and edge rusher could be 1, 2, or 2, 1, whatever. We don't know which one's going to be number 1, which is going to be number 2, but he believes it's going to be edge rusher and cornerback in the first 2 picks, probably a running back in the first 3rd pick. And then you would hope, as far as if they're going to do quarterback, you would hope it would be that 2nd, 3rd round pick. But here it is. Alex Kozor said something that I fully agree with and that I've stated myself. When you do mock drafts, right? When you do a mock draft, you have to consider what you think the team is going to do. You can't put your feelings all the way into a mock draft. You understand what I'm saying? You can't always look at it from the perspective from the perspective of, this is who I want, because we all do that. Think about it. We all do that. We all fall into our own feelings and we assume who we think they should take. Excuse me. We all do that. Even with the quarterback situation, a lot of us are in love with Pat Mahomes. Now, I don't necessarily think he should be a first-round pick, but I've talked to others that think the Steelers should go Pat Mahomes first round. I'm like, wow, over every other need. Granted, I know we definitely need to get a quarterback because, come on, we know the days of Ben is ticking on down. This could be the last season. But you got to put your feelings aside and you have to look at it from this perspective. What do you think your team is going to do based on what they're trying to do and what their need is? So let me throw some things at you. You look at inside linebacker, you look at outside linebacker, which will, of course, be the edge guy for the Steelers because the way our defense is built. You look at cornerback and you look at the safety position. And here's why I think we're going to go secondary first. Let's look at safety, right? Sean Davis is going to be a standout. Sean Davis has already proven himself. Sean Davis is still growing. He's not all the way where he needs to be. I don't expect him to be. He's a rookie, but he's growing. He came along very well. His spot is solidified. Now, a lot of people would say they don't like Mike Mitchell, right? Now, listen, I've been one of the most critical people of Mike Mitchell. Absolutely. But you have to think about it like this. Do the Steelers think that Mike Mitchell is sorry? I don't know about that. Do you really think that Mike Mitchell is sorry? Now, we could give him criticism. I think he could do a better job with tackling. You know, a lot of times it seems like he takes bad angles at times. It seems like now, particularly, again, I got to reference this again, guys. The Baltimore Ravens game in Baltimore, Mike Wallace goes for 95 yards. Seems like to me, if Mike Mitchell takes a better angle instead of trying to arm tackle and grab, he might be able to slow him down. I don't know. But we've seen him do that multiple times. So I can't just say that was a rare occurrence. Now, he does lay the boom. I appreciate him for doing that. He's an enforcer. But I also feel like that, in my opinion, Mike Mitchell doesn't always get to the play fast enough, you know, to knock the ball out the air or pick it off. He's not a center fielder, in my opinion. But does that mean that he's not good? To the eyes of consumers, you know, and the fans, I say consumers because, of course, we're consuming the football, and guys like, you know, me who have opportunities to go to a game, you're a consumer. But to the fans and the viewers, it looks like to us he's not that good. I don't know if the Steelers feel that way, though. I don't think that the Steelers, excuse me, guys, are as down on Mike Mitchell as a lot of us in the public are. Which brings me to my point. I don't know if they draft a safety to replace him. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to look at it like that. Even if they draft the safety, is he replacing Mike Mitchell, or is he just going to be an understudy because Mike Mitchell's contract probably won't get renewed when it's up, and you know this guy is going to be the next apparent, you know, the heir apparent to him. We don't know that, but it's possible. It's possible in this regard because the Steelers definitely need secondary help. More importantly than anything else, we do need some edge rush, you know, some more capable guys there. But the secondary needs a buffer. And those are the areas, free safety and cornerback. So let's discuss cornerback. After Artie Burns and Ross Cockrell, if you like Ross Cockrell, whether you like him or not, who else? Who else? Here's the situation. This is why I think we're going to go corner first. It might be safety, and I'm going to tell you why. But this is why I think we go corner. Who's a slot corner? Who's our nickel corner? Certified. Who is it? Y'all got to forgive me, guys. I keep coughing. I think it's the change of the weather. It's 80 degrees here where I am today. That's crazy. But who is it? Is it William Gay? Do we want to go back into a season where William Gay is starting in the slot? Let's go back and look at that New England game. I don't think so. No disrespect to William Gay, but I don't know if he's a solidified starting nickel guy anymore. Maybe a rotation guy, right? So it's question marks there. Do we know what Sinquez Golson is going to give us? Remember, guys, even though he's technically been on the team now, this is going into his third year, he has not played an NFL down. So not only are you taking a chance with a rookie, because everybody knows he was going to be the starter in the slot. He was projected to be from when he got drafted all the way through to, you know, him getting injured. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to take a little quick swig of water, man. Some dust or something. They cutting grass outside and all of that. But you got to look at it like that. We don't know what Sinquez is going to give us. Now, here comes Cody Sensabaugh, right? Now, he's another veteran. And you know what he is to me? To me, he is the updated William Gay. We don't know if he's going to be the solidified starter. Did a couple good things, man, at Tennessee. He doesn't have a huge, film or, highlight reel, so to speak. But if you look at some of the things he's capable of doing, he's a capable guy. I wouldn't call him a rock solid. I mean, I don't know. I've only seen a sample size, but I can see there's some things that he might be able to work out in our defense. But you don't know. Again, to me, he seems like he's the rotation guy. May win the starting job, may not. We don't know what's going on with Sinquez Golson. So that brings me to the Steelers' #1 pick. Could very well be a cornerback, and particularly it could be a Trey White from LSU. Let me explain to you why. The Steelers keep saying that we keep hearing these reports. They got to get better in the secondary, hands down. They want to be able to do more man coverage, more man-to-man. You look at a guy like White, he's a dude that can probably come in and start as the nickel corner right now. I heard Alex Kazur say that. He could probably do that. He checks all of the boxes, so to speak, that the Steelers look for in a corner. Here's another guy. I said this last week, Tankersley out of Clemson. Now, Tankersley, however, I think he would be more suited on the outside. Not saying he couldn't play inside, but I think if they go with Tankersley, then Ross Cockrell need to keep his eyes open because that's going to be a battle in that area. I think it's slot corner, though. I really strongly think we're going to go for a slot guy or another man press guy on the outside. Because remember, that's what they liked about Artie Burns. Artie Burns showed that ability in college. Long corner, press capability. So I definitely believe they either want another man capable guy on the outside or a man guy on the inside. Because, again, go back and look at some of those games. I saw the clip yesterday where they showed that play against New England when Hogan went all the way across the field. I mean, the job William Gay did in the slot was like, wow. He like half pressed him. It was ridiculous. That middle area is what kills the Steelers. The middle. So you're talking about slot receivers and tight ends. And like I said, I think Sean Davis is going to be able to help eliminate some of the tight end stuff, but the slot receivers, I think we desperately are looking for a slot corner. I think it could be Trey White. There's a lot of other guys out there that I like, man, as far as corners. I've mentioned these guys. I just don't know if all of these guys are going to either be there or are they actually what the Steelers really like. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of corners out there, man, but I've been hearing, like I said, you keep reading stuff. I'm hearing that they're high on White. The pro day, it was Kevin Colbert, Tomlin, and Cornell Lake, all at LSU pro day. And like I reported last week, again, credit to Alex Kazur. The Steelers' first-round picks since 2010 has been a guy that they were in attendance of his pro day, particularly Tomlin and Colbert being in attendance. Now, the fact that him and Colbert and Cornell Lake, the positional coach, was there, that's very telling. And everybody is raving about how his interview was at the combine. I like this kid, man. Go cut on the tape. I like him a lot. I like Tankersley a lot. Now, again, if we talking the outside. So I really believe that it's going to be a corner more so than a pass rusher. And y'all know I've been on pass rusher for so long. But again, man, if you look at what they're trying to do, probably going to be corner first. Because here's the thing with the pass rushers. Some of these guys are going to fall into the second round. And see, also, guys, keep in mind, man, the draft is always a funny thing because you never know where people are going to end up. You never know. Somebody's going to fall. Somebody's going to be on the board that you didn't think was going to be there, like a Ryan Shazier when they grabbed him. But I'm hearing these reports, man. If you listen to what's her name? Aditi Kinkawala. Hopefully I said her name correct. She just reported yesterday that she was in Pittsburgh, and what she's hearing coming out of the camp is that they're going to take the best secondary defender available at 30. Best secondary defender, whether it's corner or safety. Now, that brings me back to the safety. She reported, and I actually heard this from another source as well, that Kevin Colbert really likes Jabril Peppers. How y'all feel about that, Steelers fans? That could be interesting. That type of safety and that type of athleticism, this dude probably could play multiple positions. Of course, that's what he showed in college, in NFL, different level. But having that type of guy roaming at free safety and allowing Sean Davis to be able to do more, like play in the box, okay, I like that. But how do y'all feel? Y'all think Peppers is the type of dude that deserves to go that early? Interesting debate. But either way, you listen to all these reports, you look at the depth chart, it would make you think that they're probably going to go corner first, perhaps safety. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a guy, if Peppers or somebody was there, or Obi, Malinfanu, if that dude is there. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, because then again, like I said, second round, they'll probably come right back and get an edge rusher. Now, going back to that, and I know I'm all over the place, guys, but I think a lot of these guys are going to fall into the second round. A guy like Derek Rivers could possibly fall. Guys like Tack McKinley, Lawson. I mean, these guys who got some, some upside, but they got some injury issues. They could fall. They could definitely fall. Remember Big Boy from last year? What was the big dude, that big nose tackle? Billings. Remember the big kid that everybody was high on? He fell. So it could be a lot of different things that could happen that's going to dictate where they go. I feel like now, I really do feel like it's going to be a man corner or a slot guy. That's what I'm thinking. Unless a guy like Peppers is sitting there, playmaker. Everybody remembers the days of Troy Polamalu when you had a guy like that was roaming. If you can get a guy that's got that type of athleticism and that type of knack for the ball, you might have to go after that guy. And then you look for a corner pass rusher after that. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting, guys. But I'm telling you, when you look at those factors, when you have to take what you want outside of it and think about what you think the organization is going to do based on need, it's easier to deal with your mocks. Because think about it. How many times have any of us, how many players since you've been doing the mock draft have you been right about? How many? Let's think about that for a minute. I think I've only been right maybe one player or so over the last 7 years, because the one guy I did call out and I had to give myself a pat at the back, Le'Veon Bell. I knew it. For people who followed me and followed me on Twitter during that time, y'all remember I said, we going Bell. People was debating me. People was like, nah, it's going to be Lacey. I said, no. Le'Veon Bell fits the Steelers. That's what they want. That's what they want. Big guy with quickness with feet. That's what they want. And they got him. A lot of other guys I didn't see coming. I thought we was going to get Landon Collins in that draft when he was there. I was campaigning for that because, Troy had, we trying to rebound since Troy leaving. I was like, we going to go Landon Collins. They didn't do it. And they had the opportunity to get him. You see what I'm saying? So you got to look at it like that. You can't overly fall in love with players for a personal reason. You have to really analyze, okay, I like these particular players, and I think this is what they can do for the team. Do I think we got a chance? I think we got a chance on some of these guys, man, that I mentioned. Trey White is definitely in play, I believe. And I think if he's there at 30, I think they go for him. What's his name? Tankersley. I think he's in play. I think he's definitely in play. Tankersley could possibly be a second round. Not so much of Dory Jackson anymore. I don't know. I don't know about that one anymore. I was feeling it at first, but I'm not sure. Looking at, different measurables and things like that. Don't be surprised. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. Tease Tabor later, because he's going to fall. because of that 40 time. He's going to fall. But we've seen the boy play. His tape looks great. He just ain't got no open field speed. But don't be surprised if he falls all the way down to like 4th, 5th round. Would you grab him? Give him a shot? Why not? Why not? You know, some guys have been able to excel in their positions even though they ain't that fast. You know, I give you a name that all of y'all should be familiar with. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith ain't have no blazing speed at all and ended up being one of the best running backs numbers-wise that you've seen. He ain't had no open field speed like that. Very slow. You know, in terms of 40 times, Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice wasn't a burner. But was he not productive? So what I'm saying is Tabor, if he falls, I wouldn't get him early because that's just not good to have a worse showing at your pro day than you had at the combine. But, bruh, if he there like 5th round, why not? 4th, 5th, why not? Why not? To give you some depth at cornerback, special teams, and all of that. So those are just my thoughts, man. Let me see what you guys are saying. I know I've been rambling on here. See what you guys got going on. Oh, Enrique. Thank you. You just reminded me, Enrique Espinoza, you reminded me of a point I wanted to make. Here's the thing. TJ Watt, not the first round. Nah, not the first round. He's raw. But this is what I'm thinking. See, this makes my point perfectly. I think they're going to get the corner first if he's there. Because you're going to have some guys in the second round. TJ Watt will probably be there in the second round where we would be picking. I don't think he's going early because he's a raw talent. And I don't think the Watt name is going to carry him that much. You know, that only that one solidified year, I think he's raw. But I would take him in the second round if he's there. Because here's the point. You got to look at it like this. You got to look at who is going to be able to come in and be a starter right away, right? Outside linebacker, we already know whoever they pick, whether it's second or third or fourth, that guy is going to play because we don't have a lot of outside linebackers. And when you think about it, James Harrison is one of the starters. So you got to have some rotation for him. You got Bud Dupree on the other side, which I think Dupree is going to get off this year. He's also another solid pass rusher. He's working on that as we speak. In case you guys haven't seen that, he's going to be a problem. We got guys like Chicolo, I think, that still got a chance to be a decent pass rusher in situational, times, and we'll see what happens there. But you got Arthur Moats, which I'm not sure what's happening with Arthur Moats right now. I don't know if he is what he once was. Like the first year he was with us, I don't know. But outside of that, look who else, Jarvis is gone, and Jarvis didn't really give us any real, production. But you see what I'm saying? Whoever you draft at outside linebacker will play. They're going to be a rotation guy. So I don't think you got to get him in the first round. I think you get the corner first. You get a corner because we're going to need whoever we pick at corner has to play. They're going to be a slot, or they might take Ross Cockrell's spot. Let's keep it real. They talking about overhauling the secondary. That's what the reports are coming out saying. They upgrading, overhauling. They want to do more man coverage. That means that slot spot is up for grabs and the number 2 corner is up for grabs. Let's just face it, right? I think Artie Burns is safe. Artie's a rookie. Artie showed some promise. He's going to be all right. Boy got 3 interceptions last year. He's going to be okay. Ross Cockrell's job is up for question. In the slot, we know that's up for question because we don't know, right? So why not get the corner first? Because if you're going to have this dude on the field multiple times, it needs to be an early guy. A corner in the second or third or fourth round is a guy that's going to help you with rotation. And granted, guys could be undrafted and come in and be starters. I understand that. But we just going with, the norm. The normal protocol would be get a top-tier first-round guy first for your secondary because the pass rush and the outside linebacker class is so deep. There will be somebody late in the second round available, probably TJ Watt. That's what I would do. And y'all know, to hear me say that, y'all know it's because I've just been analyzing more things. I've been looking at some film, shout-outs to, Steelers Depot, Dave Bryant putting up a lot of these compilations. And I just been thinking, man, like, okay, maybe we should do this instead of that. I've even looked at some of our old tape, some of the old games later in the season where we were getting pass rush. So we got some guys who can get to the quarterback, not no legit guy. I think Dupree will probably be our premier pass rusher. James Harrison, of course, when he gets off. What you're going to get from Tua and Cam Hayward is hit or miss because that ain't their initial job, even though they are capable. But I think there's some guys there that can help if the secondary play is a little better. Because if you go back and look at some of our games, there was times we weren't getting any pressure, but there was times when it was near misses. We were almost there. So you need the secondary to be a little bit better to give you a little more time. If you want to rotate zone and man, the secondary got to help you out there, pass rush, and then the back end got to work together. So that's what I feel, man. You do that first, then perhaps grab Watt later on because I think he's going to be there. Let me see what else you guys are saying. You think that the Steelers should draft Chad Kelly mid-4th or 5th round? He's a stud in college and pass-heavy quarterback. I don't know much about Chad Kelly. I will say this, though. I think the Steelers, they're going to probably get a quarterback. It might be sooner than that. It might be that 2nd, 3rd round pick. The name that keeps getting thrown out there is Kaya. Brad Kaya is one of the names that Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs might be in the 3rd round. I think you look at somebody like Dobbs. I don't know much about Chad Kelly, so I'll take your word for it. But I think you look at all of these guys because one thing is for certain, and we ain't even talk about this, guys. Ben Roethlisberger is coming back like it's a surprise to us. But one thing is for certain, we got to draft another quarterback, period, because the days of Ben is dwindling, bro. So we got to do that. Let's see what else. The pass rush in the 1st round, then the corner in the 2nd. I think both outside linebacker and DB class is deep. And see, Donald, you might be right. You might be right. You might very well be right. And again, that goes back to what David Ty was saying. Pass rusher, corner, pass rusher. 1 and 2. One of those, yeah. But I just think you might get more value for the guy that you want to play now in the secondary if you get him first. Because I think there'll be more meat as far as pass rushes that's going to be a rotational guy anyway. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't know if whoever we draft as a pass rusher is a starter. I don't know. I don't know if they're knocking James Harrison out of his start, even though he's an older guy. He's going to be the starter, and then you bring a rotation guy in there. I think we should cut Gay, give Sinclair a chance, sign Reeves to a veteran minimum, draft Cameron Sutton. Thank you. That's another guy. That's the other guy I wanted to say. Cameron Sutton is another one. See what I'm saying? Now, see, Sutton is the guy that you probably could grab in the 2nd round, possibly 3rd. See, it's interesting, man, how these guys rank up, but Cameron Sutton is another guy that I think the Steelers like. Let's see, TJ Watt or Jabril Peppers in the 1st. I would take Peppers. Peppers is nice. What up, Tony? If we can cover New England slot receiver, take him. Anybody? Exactly. And last thing, Donald Clark said, TJ Watt is there when the Steelers pick. You take. See, a lot of guys are high on him, man. And listen, it's not that I'm not high on him. I like him. I just think he's a raw talent. Now, the Steelers are known for doing that. They'll take young guys. They'll take guys who are not that proven, so to speak, and work with them. I don't know about 1st round, though. Again, if I look at how they draft, I don't know if Watt comes off in the 1st round. I think 2nd round because I don't think – follow me here. And real quick before we wrap up, we went a long time today, guys. I appreciate y'all staying with me for a while. Somebody's going to fall. Some of these top-tier guys are going to fall. Whether that be quarterback, receiver, running back, which we know ain't going in the 1st round. Maybe, but probably not. Pass rusher, linebackers, corners, somebody's going to drop. So if Peppers is there in the 1st round, if Marlon Fanu is there in the 1st round, Trey White is there in the 1st round, I like Sutton, but I don't know about 1st round, but I wouldn't be mad about that. So I'll put him as an honorable mention. Tankersley. See, Sutton and Tankersley both, I think, maybe second round. I just feel like White is the guy. Because I'm considering the slot position. That's why I'm saying that. I think Trey White is the guy that you take in round 1 if you want to show up the slot spot immediately, for a battle, be able to battle Sinquez for the job. I think he's the most ready to play now. If you're going to say, I'm going to plug him in the slot. Tankersley probably could play on the outside. He could probably battle Cockrell for that spot. So I'm going to give him an honorable mention as well, him and Sutton. But if guys like that are there, you got to take one of them over TJ Watt, in my opinion, because I think if those guys fall like that, Watt will be there in the second round. Trust me. He'll be there. Because you still got to consider Rivers and those guys, Carl Lawson, all of these dudes could fall. Now, traditionally, you would think the way teams look at it, Rivers and Carl Lawson, Tack McKinley, the injury situation he has, you would think that they would get picked over Watt. So if all of them dudes fall into the second round, which is possible, TJ Watt going to be there when the Steelers pick. Now, it does suck, guys. Don't it suck when your team does pretty well because you so far down in the draft? But it is what it is. But that's just how I'm feeling, guys. I think they're going to go corner first, possibly Jabril Peppers, because reports are coming out that Colbert likes him. Other reports are saying that they basically, as of yesterday, out of the Steelers camp, they're saying at 30, they're going to take the best secondary player available. That's what the word is, of course. We don't know. Because, again, if certain pass rushers there, they might grab him. Imagine if Hassan Reddick is there. They might jump on that ship, So it's going to come down to that. It's going to be cool these next couple shows leading up to the draft, man, as we try to narrow things down. But I appreciate you guys, man, commenting and communicating here in the chat. Love that, guys. Let me see what else you guys are saying before we go. We don't know that TJ Watt might fall to the third round. Yeah, I don't know if he goes. We don't know. Maybe not third. Steelers Nation from the U.S. Capitol, brothers. What up, man? DC. Well, I'm there every Monday. That's what my home office is where I work. Ain't that crazy? Commuting all the way to DC from Pennsylvania. But one day a week, I can't beat that. I'm at home working the rest of the week. I can't be mad at that. But all right, man, that's going to do it, man. I appreciate you guys who came in and chimed in. Appreciate it. Thank everybody in advance who's going to see this on the rebound. Share your thoughts in the comments, man, because, the chat comments are not always left in the archive video. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Who do you want us to draft? Do you agree with me that they probably go corner in the first round, possibly safety? Who would you like it to be? And what would be your order, 1 and 2? Give me the names and why you feel it would be that way based on the Steelers organization. So let's get some conversation going. So, all right, guys, I got to run. Got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like always, man, do me a favor if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, man. Do yourself a favor. And go ahead, cut on your notifications so you know new videos are coming. And I promise, it never hurts you to hit that like button. All right, guys, until next time, we're going to swing the towel, get it, here we go. And I'll catch you guys next week in the latest edition. All right, peace. See y'all later.